My name is Kathy Keating, and I work in the tech industry. So, as a software engineer, software leadership now. And what drew me to this industry is when I went through a computer engineering degree program at the University of Arizona. I got to do a lot of hardware and a lot of software, and I loved my software classes. And when I got out into the industry, I started seeking software engineering roles, and I've been in that ever since. And I think the type of people that do well in this field are people that really like to problem solve and use technology to solve problems. So there's a lot of problems that can be solved with mathematics or algorithms or hardware, but like that ability to apply technology software to the problem to solve it is pretty cool. And I'm a kind of person that just loves solving hard problems. For many years, I was a software engineer, writing code for larger organizations. I've also founded two companies that were software companies as well. Today, I run a team of over 200 engineers who are all software engineers. Even though I've been in leadership for a very long time in my career, I still need to know like everything that's going on with the software engineers on my teams. I need to help strategize with them how to solve problems for the software engineers on my team. There's a lot of different opportunity within software engineering. So it's not like you're just going to sit down and write software for the same thing throughout your entire career. I've worked in multiple different industries from security to HR systems to worked in artificial intelligence early on in my career. All of these are very different types of software engineering platforms or applications. And what's great about software engineering, you can go tackle lots of different types of problems that you might want to solve. You can see a lot of different types of platforms that you'll be building. There's also specialization within software engineering, things like security engineering or DevOps or machine learning or AI. There's just so many just areas in which you can navigate as you move through your career and try out some of these specialization areas. I think it's important, especially early on in your career, to explore lots of options and try things. Don't just stay focused in a particular area. Like you might want to go to meetups, you might want to go to career fairs, you might want to find a mentor in a different area. Like let's say you want to learn DevOps, find a DevOps mentor who's a little bit ahead of you in your career and find out why they like it, right? And so, I spent a lot of time talking to people that are outside of areas that I know really well, really get to know and understand why they like what they love. And sometimes I go out and practice it. I've been known to like join hackathons on the weekend, even sit down and just write my own applications in my free time because I have a really interesting problem I want to solve and I want to learn a specifically new language. And so I kind of have my own rule that I learn a new software language every year. And so I think at this point I'm up to like close to 30 software languages that I can code in over the years. And it's just like try something new and test it and just have an open mind and see if it's interesting to you. Find a company that has other women engineers, ask them what it's like to work there. I think it's really helpful to also find a woman who's in leadership. You can learn a lot from her. She's probably been through many years of being a software engineer herself, and she can give you a different perspective. I also think it's really important to, like I said, join teams that have diverse teams already, and also to start to align yourself with, there's multiple different private groups where women engineers speak to each other about some of the challenges they might have in the role, and just really begin to build a mentor network around you of people who are a few years ahead of you that can really coach and guide you through some of the challenges. I actually credit most of the early success in my career to one of my professors who was teaching a lot of the AI, artificial intelligence programs at classes at the time. And he really inspired me to think about like how can I do this in my work? And I actually spent the first 10 years of my career working in artificial intelligence. And so taking those ideas, listening and saying, wow, that seems really cool. And then saying, how can I get a first job doing that thing? Right. I think is really important. And then who knows where your career is going to go from there. Listening to those things that and paying attention to those things that really inspire you. I also spent a lot of time when I was on campus working for the College of Engineering as an assistant to one of the professors. It was a networking professor. I learned a lot about networking there. And also it really taught me how to like work with someone who was a very seasoned professional in his career. And so like how do you have a dialogue? How do you communicate with people? How do you do work? And that's a skill like you'll learn as you get into your role is like you'll have managers, those managers have managers, and someday you'll meet the CEO, right? And so those relationships are really important. And I just think about like when I was back on campus, how often I was practicing how to have those great conversations with other people.